Hey everyone, so I'm back. So a second ago I was just talking about coming out of the broom closet. I really hope everybody takes part and does a video response to this video because I think it would really help somebody. But I'm going to move along and I'm going to talk about one of my favorite books. And I'm going to tell you some things that have happened to me. And you can be a believer if you want or not, but I am a firm believer in signs. So this is the book. It's called The Sacred Signs. And it is by Richard Webster. Hear, see, and believe messages from the universe. And it goes to tell you about, certain signs, warning signs. They're warning signs to warn us of upcoming events that may have a great impact on our lives. When something is not a sign, unexpected signs. There's also a lesson in here, helpful hints for sign seekers, how to request a sacred sign, affirmation. I mean, this is just an amazing book. So I'm going to tell you some stuff that has happened to me. And the first thing that I take it as a sign, and this is where my stepmom kind of comes in, like I mentioned in my last video, because my stepmom is a Christian, but she's a very religious person, and she believes when someone passes on, it is just their shell. They're no longer there, and therefore she doesn't feel the need to go visit someone's grave. She feels because they're no longer there. And I believe in a different way. I believe, yes, their spirit is no longer there, but I believe, for example, my father, he was going to be 81 years old, and he had that body for 81 years, and I believe everyone possesses the energy, and I believe that's still a part of him, and he's still there. And so that's why, because we were kind of undecided whether or not we were going to place him to rest where my parents were living or transport him back here to Arizona. But there was no family where they were living. They'd only lived there 9 months. There was more of a family unit and connection here. And she also said to me, well, I know that you're going to go visit your father. And she's like, I probably would never go visit his grave. That's her belief because she's such a religious Christian. She believes, again, that when someone passes, they're not there. Their spirit is gone and it's just their shell. So I'm going to tell you something that happened. We were going to my father's viewing, and I was turning right into the funeral home, had my turn signal on and everything, and I was probably not even halfway into the parking lot, and I know I talked about this on a previous video, but I was only probably halfway into the parking lot, and I heard this loud, horrific sound like metal to cement, and I looked back and I saw a car flipping 3 times. Okay, when I got out of my car, I was shaking tremendously because, one, my father just died. I'm on the way to go view him. I have not seen my father in 9 months. And then I felt like I was the cause of this accident. So what ended up happening was the car that was behind me wasn't paying attention to when I was turning in. And so he moved over into the next lane, and he hit the car, and the car flipped 3 times. Now, this is why I'm trying to get to about signs. I believe, because it happened right outside of the funeral home where my father was, and you can believe this if you want to or not, but I believe that my father was looking out for us. Because if we would have gotten pushed into oncoming traffic or something would have happened, I know we would have been seriously injured, if not killed, because I have a convertible Mustang and I have a convertible top, and if we're flipping and rolling around, there's just no way. So I really believe that my father was looking out for me that day and protecting us. There were no skid marks. It's funny because the truck was right behind me. I turned in and the truck was like right at the turn and perfectly straight. So he basically moved over and then moved back. So the damage on his truck was very minimal, but the other car was totaled. And the driver, the car that flipped, he was like, I don't know what happened. I was driving straight, then all of a sudden I was upside down. Thankfully, everyone is okay, but I think that if it was my car, it wouldn't have been okay. So I really believe that my father was watching over us. I really believe it was a sign. My stepmom because of the way her Christian views are, she believes it was God. She's like, I can't give all the glory to your father because it was God. And I don't believe that. I believe when our loved ones pass, not, you know, that our loved ones watch out for us as well. So the next thing that happened was the next day, Thursday, I was sitting at my father's funeral. We were waiting for it to get started, and my phone started ringing. And I didn't recognize the number. It was a local number from our area, and I answered it. It was my doctor's office, and I've had, you know, a few health issues throughout the year. Some of you know me, you've heard me talk about I had a stroke, you know, and I've had MRIs, and there's like a really old scar on my brain and whatnot, and they said I could have potentially had a stroke, and I have vision issues and tingling and all that type of stuff, and my main doctor's like, no, you have a migraine headache issue. It's not a migraine headache issue. So, and I also have some other health issues, but my doctor office called, and it was really weird. They're like, yeah, we haven't seen you for a while. We would like you to come in. This doctor's office, I have been going to this doctor's office for 10 years, and in that 10 years, they have never, ever called me asking me to come in for a checkup. So I believe that was kind of a sign from my father, because he's passed, and he's saying, you need to go to the doctor and get a checkup, because there could be something potentially wrong with you. So that's how I kind of took that sign. There's a couple other things that happened. A few days ago, I was in the Starbucks drive-thru, and I've been really depressed and not feeling a lot of compassion from friends that live locally. And at work, I've been kind of having some stress. And so I've been kind of really feeling a little bit down. And I was going through the Starbucks drive-thru, and I got up to the window to pay, and she's like, oh, don't worry about it. You're all taken care of. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, the car in front of you paid for everything. And I'm like thinking, I was trying to remember, did I know them? Did I recognize the truck? And she's like, sometimes that happens. People do the pay it forward thing. And my order was no cheap thing. It was probably $25 because I bought coffee for everybody, you know. So I took that as a sign that someone's trying to say it's okay and trying to comfort me because I've been stressed about money and everything, because I'm the one that paid for my father's entire funeral. So it has been very, very stressful on me. It was something I didn't plan on financially, but it's my father. I mean, I'm going to do it. And then a couple other things happened. Like, I ordered a gold casket for my dad because he was a very tropical, he liked tropical things. I got him tropical flowers to go over his casket, and I just wanted the gold because it was a nice warm tone. Well, because I was going back and forth between the silver and the gold, because I thought silver would have looked good when they draped the American flag on my father's casket, I ended up going for the gold. Well, he got confused, he said, and he ordered the silver casket. So, of course, the first thing that when I'm coming in to see my dad, I'm like, this is wrong. That's the wrong casket. So, but then I kind of like heard this like little voice in my head, and it's something totally my father would say. And it was like, don't worry about it. It's fine. Just let it go. And that's exactly what my father would say. And I wasn't thinking that, or it just all of a sudden like popped in my head. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Just let it go. So I've had a lot of little things like that happen to me lately. And that's why I'm a firm believer in the signs. I also believe like if you sense something or you're pondering over something and you keep like getting signs and signals about what direction you should take and you go the opposite way and then you're like, darn it, I should have done that. Well, you're being guided, and it's up to you what path or direction you take. Only you can make that choice, but you are definitely being guided on what type of path you should take. So I really wanted to talk about that. And then just some things, you know, my stepmom has said, and about her religious beliefs, how she's trying to heal, and she's letting God heal her heart. And for me, I need to get upset and emotional. I need to heal on my own time, and I don't want to heal overnight and forget about my father. My father was an amazing person, and my mom, because she's so religious, she's like, God's healed her and it's easier for her. I mean, she's still emotional, but like she called me when she got home and, you know, she's taking some of his pictures down, and when she was staying with me, I had like his memorial collage that I showed on video. I had it up and she's like, can you turn that around, dear? It just hurts me to look at the pictures. And for me, I want to look at the pictures to remember my dad, but I also have to understand in my head, everybody processes emotions differently. So anyways, it's just kind of funny how different people act, because, you know, it was my dad and they were together, you know, 32 years. So, but she's also 12 years younger than my dad, so she has a lot of life left in her. So again, signs, everybody, listen to your signs, listen to your gut, listen to your spirit guides, listen to your intuitiveness, because your intuition is a very important part of who you are. You're trying to be guided down a certain path, and it's up to you what path you're going to take. Only you can make that choice, but you're definitely guided along the way. And I really do feel like, you know, since my father's passed, I really do feel like he's around me. And my mom feels like, no, once they pass away, they're gone and they're up in heaven. And that's the other thing is, I said it a few times and it's really kind of funny. I'm like, well, at least I know Dad's looking down on us. And she's like, oh no, dear, Dad's not looking down, because then that would mean you know what. And she's like, Dad is looking up on us. And I'm like thinking, how could he be looking up on us if he's up in heaven and we're not in heaven and we're below heaven? That doesn't mean I'm talking about, you know, H-E-L-L. It just means that he's above us in heaven and he's looking down on us. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think I'm saying it wrong? Or anyway, she just kind of cracked me up about that, because she's like, oh no, he's not looking down, he's looking up. Well, wouldn't that mean that he's down there looking up on us? I mean, I hope my dad, well, I know my dad's not in hell, but I know my dad is in a happy place, and I know that my father's okay. But it's still just something she says, like about how it's just my father's shell and all this type of stuff. I just don't agree with that. So let me know what you think about signs and everything. And I hope you guys are all having a great day. And again, I really appreciate all the love and support from the YouTube community in regards to my father's passing. It has really meant a lot. I will write the information about this book. I bought this book, actually, it was $13.95 it says. So you can probably Google it, but it is an amazing, amazing book. So I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.